So Trump had another one of those rallies last night in Pennsylvania. You know, the ones that make him feel all good inside, make that jiggly 280 or 320 pound Jabba body of his just ooze with excitement. You know, nothing else gets him there but 3 scoops. He got to stand up and get crowd adulation. And again, you know, in his own Idi Amin-ish, Pol Pot-ish kind of way, that's what makes this guy tick, as we know. It's adulation. If you know, as his niece, who's a friend of mine and is awesome, Mary Trump, you should watch her podcast. We do these things every week. Some of you have seen me on there. As Mary has said, the worst punishment for him would be to lock him alone in a room with no mirrors and no TV and nothing. Because if he's alone, he ceases to exist. I think it's brilliant because it's so true. And that's the way these strong men are. They're narcissists who've lost their minds, who've just are, they're out there. So the media that cried and complained about what things that Biden said about Trump, he really more went after Trump Republicans, MAGA Republicans, and the violence that they threaten and the elections that they are trying to set up states to overturn. There's a story recently, you know, that the Democrats may lose 5 to 7 more House seats than they should, or Republicans should gain more than that, which is why we all have to come out and vote. Like they voted in Kansas against the abortion restrictions, like they voted in New York, in the Republican district, like they voted in Alaska to kick Sarah Palin's arse, because in Georgia and in Alabama and in, what was the third one? Louisiana. 2 of those states have a 33% African-American population, Georgia and Louisiana, and the black population in Alabama is 27, Georgia and Louisiana, sorry, and Alabama is 27%. So you think if you're doing the math on that means they should get 25 to 33% of the seats. Nope. They gave only one black majority seat in each of those areas to Democrats. And so what happened? Well, the Republicans went and they took it to court, and district court said, nope, you got to do something more equal. And then, of course, the Supreme Court just went, sorry, too late, too close to an election. Did the same thing here in Ohio. So I'm getting off my key point, but please go vote because we can't let them take over the House. But Trump's speech, violent, what did he have to say? He called Joe Biden vicious, hateful, and divisive. He compared Joe Biden to Satan. He said Joe Biden is an enemy of the state, which, by the way, Secret Service, if any of you, the ones out there that didn't get on Trump's payroll, Tony Ornato, although he's finally now gone, thank God, you might want to go investigate Donald Trump, as you do when there are threats made against the president. But this is it. Again, Donald Trump can't learn. Republicans won't reject him. They are starting to take him down off their websites, as I've said, and quietly try to sort of have nothing to do with him. But they won't publicly reject him because they are effing cowards. And so he got up, gave his little speech, and did the exact things Joe Biden talked about. Tried to incite violence versus the President of the United States towards the Democratic Party. Biden gave the most vicious, hateful, and divisive speech ever delivered by an American president. This is the guy that gave the American Carnage speech as his inaugural, to the point where George W. Bush turned to Hillary Clinton and said, that was some crazy shit. Or no, that was some weird shit. That's what George W. Bush had to say. Again, this is, you know, Donald Trump, the more he speaks out, the better for us, because we should tie him and everything he does to everything the Republicans are doing, because as I've said before, and I'll say again, he is them, they are him. Marjorie Taylor Greene and Paul Gosar and this guy I just told you about in my other video, Tom Michaels, who threatened the Milwaukee Journal Sentinel, is running in Wisconsin, and the one who thinks that if you're raped, you should have to have, by your uncle, you should have to have a child, and it's a glorious thing. Tudor Dixon, or whatever her made-up name is, running for governor in Michigan, and Mastriano, who literally has dressed up and like hung out with people in Confederate garb and was there on January 6th, and is an election denier and you know, a traitor, and we can go on Kerry Lake, and they're all him. He's them, they're him. Ted Cruz, Josh Hawley, the people that encouraged the insurrection and planned quietly with him. Rand Paul. Newt Gingrich was just called in front of the January 6th committee because he took part in some of the planning of the coup. It is the Republican Party. Call them the MAGA Republican Party if you want. If you want to say, okay, there's a few exceptions. Mitt Romney, you know, and a few of the 10 that voted for impeachment. A few of the governors of East Coast states. But in the end, overall, 99%, this is the Republican Party. If it makes you feel more comfortable saying the MAGA Republican Party, that's fine. Make that a slur, what they did to the word liberal in the 80s. But that should be the messaging. That's who they are, and Donald Trump proved it again. He proved it again. He compared the President of the United States to Satan. And again, I know some people will be like, well, you compare Donald Trump to all sorts of... Well, Donald Trump was saying crazy things, tweeting crazy things, sharing state secrets, hanging out with Putin and bowing before him in Helsinki, was trying to pull election tricks, working with Ukraine to undermine Joe Biden and getting impeached, encouraging coups. I mean, we can go into all the laws that he broke. There's a reason. We didn't call out normal Republican presidents. Like, I never said stuff like that about, hell, I said a lot of stuff about George W. Bush in Iraq, never anything close to that. Again, Donald Trump is a threat. The Republican Party is a threat. Let everyone know that you can get them to vote for Democrats. We must hold the House, or they will impeach Biden for nothing. They will impeach Merrick Garland. They've already said it. Marjorie Taylor Greene has said it, and she'll probably be running that party if they win the House. Think about that for a second. Guys, thanks for being here. Happy Labor Day weekend. Please subscribe. Tell your friends to subscribe. Turn on notifications, like, and the rest. We are growing rapidly, and I want everybody to be a part of it.